A Westside Chamber Business Forum was recently hosted by Ascension Living St. Vincent Pace. These leaders discussed the state of area healthcare for the senior community. Here are a few video highlights.
In my previous life, followed patients through the continuum, and so I've seen all of these gaps, all the gaps that we have in care. And I feel like we're doing a better job at identifying them, but like everybody is saying, we are being super reactive.
We constantly have to look for the next step. And yes, we're going to get this new piece of equipment, but what's next? Like in 6 months, what's next? And our population is growing so much, and our coalition is growing so much because there are new facilities and bigger facilities. How do we make sure we can touch all of those?
How do we break down the silos of the existing systems, be open to that collaboration when a company or a provider reaches out, rather than close the door and say, I don't have time for that. We need more of that open door collaboration.
Getting back to basics, but obviously, in personalizing this, but we're way beyond that now. Our world is moving in such a fast-paced direction that there's no going back, but how do you provide that personalization in this type of world that we live in now?
Okay, how do you make contact with people? When I go into my well visit every year, I would love a doctor to say, by the way, here's a conversation starter. If you haven't thought about this with your parents, this is maybe some ways to start those conversations. That might be a way that you can reach a lot of people, that know in the back of their head it's coming.
Because you'd be surprised, we offer this assistance, but it is hard, to get the word out and people know that we have resources. So, events like this have been amazing. And then, we have partnerships with the hospitals as well, and those we've just developed over time, and just through people that board members have known and made connections.
Everybody past a certain age is going to know tech as they get older. There's just a very large group of folks, I would assume, that wasn't part of their journey, so, and they're scared of it, but it's required. And so how do you bridge that gap to make the technology a little less threatening?
They are not always tech friendly. And you run into, they're like, this is great, I don't have a cell phone that can do this, I need you to call me. So we have that's like a generational gap that you can see actively kind of playing out. It's great if they can use it.
The highest suicide rate is individuals 65 plus. Because they're losing their friends, they're losing their loved ones, they're losing their spouse. So we're seeing more and more older people, and people are living longer. So we see a lot of elderly people in our hospital.
Do we need to change the dialogue? It's not so much you're downsizing and you've got to give away stuff and what did you used to do, and you still have a life to lead. You still, what do you want to do? There's still a lot of runway left. Are we talking too much that everything is phrased negatively?
So I wonder maybe if the question isn't, how do you want to live? Instead of how do you want to age or how do you want to die? How do you want to live? What's that look like to you? And we start having that conversation with the seniors and with their children or with our baby boomers who are getting older.
I think it's still about holistic care. Mm-hmm. That's what we're talking about here. What aspect, what does the rest of your life look like to you? Or what does living look like to you? And breaking down and dissecting it and giving them the resources they need to be able to help them live the life they want to live.
Okay, it's going to be hair on fire. It just is. So then how do we handle that with this population? Because I don't know that we're going to change this. I think it's only going to get worse with the generations coming up. So what do we do differently?
What can be done differently to better serve seniors in our community? How do your senior loved ones want to live? Add a comment below or send a message to share your thoughts.